Welcome to the Podcast Lab, your go-to space for raw conversations, curious questions, and inspiring stories from around the world. Whether you're here to learn, laugh, or just listen in, this is where ideas take shape and voices come alive. Ready to dive into fresh perspectives and thought-provoking discussions? Let's get started. This is the Podcast Lab. Subscribe now and never miss an episode.
Okay, so breakups. It's like everyone's been through it.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like the worst,
Mm-hmm.
right?
What's the worst?
So for today's deep dive,
Okay.
we're looking at this podcast script
Okay.
all about breakups,
Interesting.
the psychology of breakups, and how to get through it all.
Right.
And one of the interesting things they say is healing, isn't a straight line. It's not linear.
Oh, interesting.
You might feel great one day, and then the next day you're like,
Back to square one.
yeah,
Yeah, it's a roller coaster.
totally.
Yeah.
And they actually talk about different stages of a breakup.
Mm-hmm.
So even though everyone's experience is different,
Right.
there are these kind of
Common threads.
these patterns that we all kind of go through.
Mm-hmm.
So the first one is shock and denial,
Okay.
which
Yeah.
I remember after my first really serious breakup, I was just in a daze for days.
Oh, I bet.
It was
I can imagine.
yeah.
I'm going to wake up.
Right. It's
Yeah.
like a defense mechanism.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah. Your brain's like, nope, can't deal with this right now.
Yeah.
Let's just shut down everything.
Some overload.
Exactly.
And then
Yeah.
eventually, the shock wears off, and then you move into sadness, which I always think of it as this heavy blanket.
Oh, yeah.
Just kind of descends.
Yeah.
And everything feels gray.
It's like the weight of the world.
Yeah. And the script even says loneliness is like a physical ache in this stage.
Yeah, because you've lost this person
Right.
who was such a big part of your life.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like you've lost a limb.
Yeah, it's a huge void.
But then, it doesn't stop there.
No.
Then there's anger,
Right.
which,
And that's interesting how anger kind of follows.
yeah.
It's at first the sadness is kind of inward, and then the anger is
Directed outward.
roar.
Yeah. At your ex, at the situation, at yourself.
Right, right.
Maybe a little bit.
Yeah. So maybe burning those old love letters
Uh-huh.
isn't such a bad idea after all.
I mean, the script does say find healthy outlets.
Oh.
Right. So maybe not arson,
Maybe not Arsa.
but journaling,
Yeah.
talking to a therapist, things like that.
Okay.
But yeah, acknowledging that anger because it's important.
And then it's the anger kind of simmers down a bit, and then you get into this bargaining phase.
Oh, the bargaining.
It's the what ifs.
Oh, yeah.
What if I had said this?
What if I did that?
What if I'd worn that shirt that they liked?
Yeah. What if I hadn't gotten that haircut?
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Well, that's what the script says.
yeah,
It's
because you can get stuck there.
yeah, you're just reliving the past instead of moving on.
Mhm.
But thankfully,
Yes.
there's a light at the end of the tunnel.
There is. And that is
Of acceptance and rebuilding.
in rebuilding,
Yeah.
which doesn't mean,
Right.
you've forgotten everything.
No, not at all.
But it's you've kind of,
It's you've processed it.
Yeah.
You're okay, I'm ready for the next chapter.
let's do this.
Yeah. And one of the things the script really emphasizes
Yeah.
is that you might not go through these in order.
Right.
You might
Bounce around.
yeah, bounce around. And that's totally normal.
Yeah.
Everyone's different.
Okay, so they actually
Yeah.
interviewed people for this script.
Oh, cool.
And one person said they just could not let go of the memories, good or bad.
Right.
And I thought,
Right.
yeah, they can be so powerful.
They can be good and bad. Yeah, it's finding that balance
Right,
of
that's
appreciating the past.
Yeah.
But not letting it hold you back.
Right. Exactly.
But now I'm what do we actually do
Yeah.
to cope with all of this?
What are the tools we can use?
Yeah. I'm curious about that too. Let's
Yeah.
dig into that.
Okay,
Before we do, what has really resonated with you so far? I think for me, it's that the stages aren't linear.
Yeah.
That's very reassuring. Right. Because it gives you permission to have good days and bad days.
Exactly.
And not feel bad about it. And just know that it's all part of the process.
right.
Okay, so
Is so.
next we're going to get into those
Coping mechanisms. Those coping mechanisms.
Yeah, those tools we were talking about
the tools
to help us to navigate those waters.
get through it.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
To the other side.
So we've talked about all those stages.
Right, all the feels.
Yeah, all the feels.
Yeah.
But now what do we do?
Yeah, what are some practical things?
Right, how do we actually cope
Okay, so the script,
Yeah.
it talks about like a bunch of different coping mechanisms.
Okay.
And it's interesting because they're not just about like
Yeah.
distracting yourself.
Yeah.
They're about like actively
Yeah.
engaging in things that'll help you heal.
Right. So it's not just like
Right.
go watch a movie and forget about it. It's
Right.
like
It's more
do these things that will like
that will help you process
help you get through it.
and move forward.
Yeah. Okay. So the first one, and this is a tough one.
Okay.
They say like feel your feelings.
Oh, I see what you mean by tough.
Right. Because it's like,
Yeah, who wants to do that?
no, like I just want to
Yeah.
shove it all down
Right, just pretend it's not happening.
and eat like a tub of ice cream.
Exactly.
But they say that that's actually
yeah,
like not helpful.
it's like a temporary fix,
Yeah.
but it's going to come back to bite you.
So we got to like actually let ourselves feel it.
Feel the sadness.
Yeah.
Feel the anger.
The confusion, all of it.
all of it.
And they suggest journaling.
Oh, journaling.
Which I've tried it before, and sometimes it's like, I'm just like, ugh, like going in circles.
Right, you're just rehashing the same stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they say, like, try to focus on
Okay.
what you're learning from this.
Okay.
Like, not just what happened,
Right.
but what are you taking away from this experience?
So instead of like, ugh, they were so mean, it's more like,
Yeah.
okay, that showed me that I need someone who's like,
Respects me.
respects me. Yeah.
Who communicates.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's journaling.
Okay, so feel your feelings, journal it out.
Check by it. What else?
Okay, so then they talk about creating a new routine,
No, interesting.
which
Mhm.
I get it
Yeah,
because it's like your whole life.
it's all disrupted.
Yeah, it's disrupted. And
Yeah.
so they're like,
So you got to like
okay, establish a new normal.
rebuild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they specifically talk about
Do I?
like healthy habits.
Oh, okay.
Like exercise,
Yeah.
eating well.
Getting enough sleep.
Yeah, sleep.
Yeah.
And it actually, like, this
Yeah.
made me think of that person we were talking about who was like,
The one who couldn't let go of the memories.
yeah, the memories. They actually
Yeah.
said that, like, getting back into yoga really helped them.
Yeah, gave them that routine.
Yeah.
Structure.
So I thought that was interesting.
That is interesting.
Yeah. Okay, what else we got?
Let's see.
Okay, so this one's not so surprising.
Okay.
Connect with your people.
Oh, your support system.
Yes,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Because I think
Yeah.
a lot of times when we're hurting, we just want to like
isolate.
isolate, or they're like,
But that's when you need people the most.
reach out,
Right, exactly.
talk to your friends, talk to your family,
Yeah.
whoever makes you feel good.
Yeah, and support it.
Yeah. And it's like a reminder
Yeah,
that you're not alone,
exactly.
which is so important.
so important.
Okay. And then along with connecting with other people,
Yeah.
you got to connect with yourself.
Oh, self-compassion.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which, that's a hard one,
It is.
especially after a breakup.
Because you're like,
Yeah.
what did I do wrong?
Was it me?
If only I hadn't done that.
Yeah, all the self-blame.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you're saying, like,
Be kind to yourself.
yeah, like you would be kind to a friend
Yeah.
who's going through the same thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then the last one,
All right.
they say, yeah.
Engage in activities that bring you joy.
Well, that sounds nice.
Right. Which sounds so basic.
Yay.
But it's like,
But sometimes you forget
yeah, you forget.
Yeah.
Like when you're in the middle
or
of
you're in the thick of it.
yeah.
Yeah. But it's like,
But it's so important
yeah.
to remember those things.
Yeah. Rediscover like an
Yeah.
old hobby or,
Find something new
yeah, totally.
that sparks joy.
And all this like makes
Ugh.
me think about
Mm-hmm.
that therapist they talked to
Oh, yeah.
who said breakups are
Yeah.
transformative experience.
Oh, that's a good way to look at it.
Right?
It's not just a loss.
Yeah, it's like an opportunity
Yeah, to learn and grow.
to grow. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, even though
Yeah.
you might feel like your world is ending,
Mm-hmm.
it's actually,
It's a chance to rebuild
yeah,
in a way that's even better.
like a phoenix rising.
Yeah, exactly.
There's still this question of closure.
Right. How do we actually move on?
Yeah. And like, what even is closure?
Yeah, good question.
So that's where we're headed next.
Okay, let's get into it.
Yeah. So closure.
Yeah. Yeah.
What is it?
Right. Like everyone's always like,
Yeah.
you need closure.
Get closure.
But what does that even mean?
Yeah. And the script like
Mhm.
makes a good point that it's different for everyone.
Exactly.
Yeah. There's
Yeah.
no one right way
Right.
to get closure.
For some people, it might be like
Yeah.
that final conversation.
Right. Like getting those answers.
Here's how I felt.
Here's what I went through.
Yeah. But for others, it might just be,
It might be more of an internal thing.
yeah, like letting go.
Yeah, on your own.
without needing, like...
Right. Without any outside validation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the script doesn't, like, tell you how to get closure,
Yeah.
but it does.
But it gives you, like, steps to move on.
Okay.
Like a framework. So what's the framework?
Okay. Step 1,
Right.
forgiveness.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay,
I know it's a big one.
It's a big one because it's like,
Yeah.
you're hurting.
Right, you're angry.
You're resentful.
Yeah, like, why should I forgive them?
Right. But the script says it's not about them.
Oh.
It's about you.
Okay.
It's about letting go of that anger.
Because it's, like, weighing you down.
Exactly. It's holding you back.
Okay, so...
Keep working on forgiving.
Yeah.
What's next?
Reflection.
Okay, so
Yeah.
look back on, like,
Yeah, look back at the relationship.
yeah,
What did you learn?
good and bad.
Good and bad.
Yeah.
The ups and downs.
What worked, what didn't.
Mm-hmm. And try to be objective about it.
Right. It's not about, like,
Right.
dwelling on the negative.
No, it's about learning from it all.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the last one?
The last step is self-growth.
Ooh, I like that. So it's like,
This is where you shift your focus
yeah,
from the past to the future.
what am I going to do now?
Exactly. Invest in yourself.
Yeah.
Pursue your passions.
Okay. Yeah.
Do things that make you happy.
Like that person we were talking about,
Yeah.
getting back into yoga
Right.
and, like, spending time with their friends.
Yeah, that's self-care.
Yeah. Okay. So it's like,
Forgiveness, reflection,
yeah,
self-growth.
it's like a whole process.
It is a process.
This has been quite a deep dive.
It has.
And I feel like, we've talked about, like,
We've covered a lot.
those stages, what to do,
All the feels.
closure.
But I think the biggest takeaway
Mhm.
is that
Yeah.
healing is a journey.
It's not a destination.
Exactly.
It takes time.
Yeah, and it's not linear.
No, there will be ups and downs.
So don't beat yourself up.
Be kind to yourself and
Yeah.
remember that
Mhm.
you're going to come out stronger on the other side.
I love that.
Yeah.
So that's it for today's deep dive. Thanks for joining us
On breakups.
and all the complicated feelings.
Yeah. And we hope
We hope this was helpful
you got some good tips.
and that you feel less alone.
Yeah. And just remember,
You're not alone.
you got this.
You do.
We'll see you next time.
See you later.